On this work example, looking at the different time zones, I might quickly want to show you, if we look at these questions, before we look at this is the 0, so the Greenwich running down there. You might ask, why is these lines not straight down? Well, countries decide in which time zone they want to work. And I'm going to quickly show you what happens here. So this is 0, it's the green part, plus 1 is the brown part, so, or the dark gray. So if you look at green, France has decided that they will not go with the 0, they will go to the plus 1 side. So all of this is plus 1. And it's up to them. So London and Paris will probably much have the same quality sun when the sun comes up because they're so close to each other. However, Paris is 1 hour ahead of London. Countries like South Africa, the time zone is running right down in the middle. So they have decided that that this whole country will go with the plus 2. If you go to Australia, and Australia is over 3, because Australia is so wide, they are using 3 different timelines. They're using plus 10 for Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and that's not even with daylight savings. We're not going to touch daylight savings now. We're just going to go with normal time. They are at plus 10. Then they've decided that this part is so far from Brisbane that if that whole part there's an hour, they're only going to add half an hour here. So there's only a half an hour difference between Brisbane and, sorry, it's an hour and a half. So if this, yeah, it's half an hour. And then from there to Perth, it's going to be plus 8. So there's a 2-hour difference between Brisbane and Perth. That's plus 8, that's plus 10. But the whole of Central Australia is only going to go to 9.5 hours. 9 plus a half, so there's only going to be a half-hour difference between South Australia and Brisbane. Countries like China, look, China's falling actually over plus 5, so this falls in the 5. So if the sun is over here, if the sun comes up in the morning and it comes up at 6 o'clock, it takes 5 hours for the sun to reach the other side. So usually it's about 5 hours difference in when the sun comes up between here and here, although it's the same time. So if the sun comes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning here, it's going to come up 5 hours later in the furthest corner. But they use all the same time, which is plus 8, which is very weird. And every country then decide where they want to be. So going back to our examples, it's very hard to do these without the map here. So sometimes if we don't give you a map, they will say that France is at plus 1, China is at plus 8, Queensland is in plus 10. So you don't have to go and look it up on a map. They give you that information. And I'm just going to go and we're going to work with that. So they said UTC is based on the time in Greenwich, England. Use the world time zone map, which we don't have, to answer the following. When it's 2 p.m. at UTC, which means what I would like you to do is when you have questions like this, you won't have a lot, to just quickly draw yourself a map with 0 in the middle. So here we say it's 2 p.m. Okay, 2 p.m. And we go and find France. Now France is a year which is at plus 1. And then it's obvious to see that if this is 2 p.m. here, 1 hour ahead, which means that in France equals 3 p.m. on the same day. So it's 3 p.m. on the same day. To go to China, do your little thingy. China, it's 0, it's 2 p.m. In China, China is over here, it's at plus 8. If you look it up, that's at plus 8. So 8 hours ahead of 2 p.m. means that that is at 10 p.m. So in China, it will be, I'm going to use this, China will be 10 p.m. 2 p.m. plus 8 is 10 p.m. Queensland is at plus 10. So plus 10, let's just use another color. Plus 10 will be over there. Okay, that's plus 10, which means Queensland Queensland, could have used Queensland, will be plus 10, so it will be 2 p.m. plus 10 hours, and that will take us to midnight. So we will go into the next day already when it's 2 p.m. there. Alaska is over here, and if we look at the map, Alaska falls at -9 hours. So Alaska is here at -9, which means if it's 2 p.m. there, Alaska will be 2 p.m. and it's negative, so it will be take away 9 hours, and 2 p.m. take away 9 hours will be, sometimes it's easier to write 2 p.m. as 1400 hours. 14 take away 9 will give us 5, so it will be 5 a.m. in the morning. 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay, I'm going to use a new page to do the next part. They say if it's 9:35 a.m. in New South Wales, Australia, what is it in Alice Springs? So if I draw, and I'm just going to draw one of these now. Okay, it's 9:35 Alice Springs. Oh, sorry, in New South Wales. So New South Wales is over there. On my map, that New South Wales is at it's at +10. So this is at +10. This is where we are. They ask, what is the time in Perth? Now Perth is over here. It's on that line there, and Perth is at +8. So it means that Perth is 2 hours to the left, so it means it is -2 in this. So if this is 9:35, so if Perth, so if it's New South Wales is at 9:35 a.m., then in Perth it will be 2 hours earlier, so that will be -2, which is 7:35 a.m. That is what it's at Perth. Perth will be 7:35 a.m. What is it in, I missed Alice Springs. Alice Springs is in, where's Alice Springs? Alice Springs is in the central, in the middle, so it means it's -half an hour. So Alice Springs is over here, it's on this line over there, which makes it -half an hour. So if that is Alice Springs, it will be 9:35, take away half an hour, which is 30 minutes. 30 minutes, so it will be 9:05 a.m. on the same day. 9:05 a.m. In London, London is there, okay, so it's at 0. So I'm just going to write over here. So London will be the difference between Perth, which is +10, and 0. The difference there is 10 hours. So London will be 10 hours to the left, which means earlier, so it will be -10. So it means London will be 9:35 a.m. Take away 10 hours. That will take us into the next morning. It will take us to 0, 10. So 9:35 take away 10 will take us to 0:35. So that will be 35, 0035. It's not 0, it will go back to 12:35. Sorry, that will go to 12:35, and that will be PM of the previous day. So it will become 12:35 the previous night. So they still have to get back into the next morning. If we look then at the last one, which is Central Greenland. Central Greenland is over here, and Central Greenland is at minus 3 hours. Now the difference between those two over there is this is 10 hours and this is 3 hours. So there's a total difference of 13 hours. So Greenland will be 9:35 a.m. Take away 13 hours. Okay. The easiest way to say take away 13 hours is to take away 12 hours. That will take us to 9:35 p.m. on the previous day. Then another hour will take us to 8:35 p.m. and this will be the previous day.